Hi everybody, Ken Bedwell here. It is 5:24 on 10/29, Friday night, and I am sitting here and having my first chemo treatment. So yeah, I uploaded that video. I'm sorry it was so late, and right before my chemo treatment, but I thought I'd get it started. So here I am in the University of Kansas little room. I have my own room for chemo treatment. It's really nice. Excuse me, I didn't realize there was a light here. Oh, come on. And they I've been on since about 1 o'clock. Yeah, so it's rather long. I'm having a very long run, but let me talk about my surgery, because that's what I said I would do. So my surgery went off without a hitch. It was an hour and a half, and was performed by the head of the transplant department at the University of KU. Great guy, Dr. Schmidt. And I have a scar now from my navel to my sternum that looks like it's probably 10 years old. Yeah, it's that small. Used a laser scalpel to cut me open. And it's absolutely amazing what they did. So he cut me open, and then they had to pull all my organs out. Yeah. Heart over, or liver over here, kidneys over there, intestines over there, because my pancreas is all the way at the back of everything. It's kind of like working on a car where, the part you need is all the way down at the bottom. Anyway, when they got to it, they used a plasma cutter, a very specific type of plasma cutter, to cut the pancreas. And they cut 45% of the pancreas off. What they did was the machine, the cutter, actually had a dual. It's really weird. Kind of shaped like a claw, best way to describe it. But the claw actually had staples on either side. It was a stapler. And they went in and stapled both sides of the pancreas away from each other. And then a plasma beam was ignited and cut right between the staples. So they sealed both sides of the pancreas off, so it wouldn't, the enzymes and the bile from the pancreas wouldn't leak out, and then cut it with the plasma beam to cut it and solderize it at the same time. I mean, absolutely amazing techniques that they used. They removed 45% of the pancreas. They removed 3.5 centimeters of tissue around the outside. And they, of course, removed the spleen with 3.5 centimeters around it. So it was a huge amount of meat from me. It kind of felt like a butchered steer. And I do a lot of butchering, or I used to. It's going to be quite a while before I get back to that. Anyway, so when I got back to when I started to wake up and they wanted to get me into my room, of course, you know how they always ask you, how much pain are you in? They're like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much pain are you in? I could only grunt out 15. Because yes, I was in that much pain. The tumor had actually invaded part of the nerves in the pancreas, and once cutting it out, the amount of pain that I was in was absolutely unbelievable. Worst I've never broken a bone. I haven't done that, but there's a lot of things that has happened to me that, car wrecks and, different things that have been extremely painful. This was by far the worst that I've ever had. And they wanted to move me, or they wanted me to help move myself. And they asked me, can you move? And I'm like, no. It was so funny. It was so funny because that's not me. Sorry, I'm just looking to see if I can figure it out. There we are. There we are. Okay. Shed some light on the whole prospect. So, anyway, I was in the hospital. I got in there Friday. I got there Friday. Had the surgery by about, I don't know, 10 o'clock. Was out within an hour and a half, and was took us several hours for them to get me to a room, which is normal. I don't begrudge them that. And they moved me upstairs, and I got to work. They got me working, and I got to tell you, the one thing I didn't tell you is during the operation, they pumped my abdomen full of gas to distend it so they could work with it even more. And that's where a lot of pain also comes from, because you can't pass that easily. It has to dissolve. And I'll take the handling of the organs. I'll take the, the cauterizing and everything else like that. That trying to pass that gas, that's not in the gastrointestinal, or that's not in the colon. Oh my word. That is horrid. It's absolutely terrible. So anyway, next couple of days were just trying to get back to the point that I could actually go home. By Saturday, I was walking. I forced myself actually to get up and walk because I thought I needed to go to the bathroom. That's a whole other story, which I'm not going to relate because they won't release you from the hospital after the surgery without you going to the bathroom. With that gas and everything else that they did, it takes a while for the organs to wake up, and I mean that's the words that they actually use. The organs have to wake up because they've been handled and they've been put to sleep, basically. Don't worry, not a beer. This is ginger ale. Helps my stomach. And so I was walking by that day. I mean, I didn't walk very far. Actually, I did. I kind of did that very same day, because I walked to and from the bathroom, and once I was out, I decided I'd walk in the room which was about 30 feet. So I walked back and forth a couple of times. And then I decided I would try and walk to and from the nurse's station, and that was about 60 feet. So all in all, about 160 feet, which was really good. I mean, that they were really surprised I was up and walking that soon. Sunday came along. Of course, I didn't eat anything. I had some broth, because that I was on whole full food did not even interest me. I wasn't even interested in anything like that. Water. Yeah, first night, I was so dry. Of course, I hadn't eaten anything in almost 24 hours. 12 hours before, and then almost that entire day. And I had asked my wife for ice chips, and that's what she was feeding me. And then, stupidly, they got me some medication which had to be dissolved in water. And of course, I gulped it down, which immediately, promptly came right back up. And I had just gotten into the room, so we didn't know where the Estes bag was, the throw-up bag was. And of course, that immediately meant that I had to get cleaned up. So, word to the wise, stick with sips of water or ice chips. It works a lot better. But anyway, Sunday came along, and I was walking a lot more because I was still trying to get my organs woken up, so that I could actually move. And it finally happened. Finally had a movement, which was good. It made me feel a lot better, both mentally and physically. And I did 2 circuits around the entire ward, which was great. And then I ate a little solid food. It wasn't much. It was toast and some oatmeal. It's about what I could handle. And that was pretty much that day. And then Monday I was discharged. I walked more. I walked even more than I had on Sunday. Got more things done. I had a epidural for a pain pump, and that's what I had been using quite a bit, and they had given me. It had taken care. It had taken the edge off. It hadn't taken all the pain away, but it had taken the edge off. And tell you how much pain I was in. You had between 6 and 10 distributions of medication with that epidural. And that first night, with that one use of epidural, I hit that button 50 times. I was in so much pain. But by Monday, I was through with it, and they had me on 5 milligrams of oxy and Tylenol. I was taking, so it wasn't very much. I was off of the oxy by Thursday. And within about a week and a half after that, I was off of the Tylenol and the ibuprofen and acetaminophen. And so I've been off of that. Occasionally I'll take it. I'll take some, especially when I go to sleep at night, because my insides feel like, you know how when you're working with a suction, and you try, and that section's very hard. And when you try and pull that section apart, That's how my insides felt. And it felt like something was, when you tried to pull it apart, it was sucking apart. And it was resisting. It was very disconcerting. I still have that feeling a little bit now these days. But I am healed up mostly. Good enough to actually go into chemotherapy. The doctors are very good. They finally released me to go on to the next stage. That was a week ago that they had decided to release me to go. I had advanced enough and healed enough and gotten enough strength back that they released me to go to the next stage. And in the next video, I will talk about what that was like. And so we'll go from there. So anyway, tot scenes. I will talk to everybody later, and I'll show you in the next video, I'll show you my chemo room. Very nice. And then I'll also show you my very own personalized orange crash box. Yeah, I have my chemos that toxic. So I will talk to everybody later. Tot ziens.